Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
And we have the man, the myth, the legend, and my good friend, Mr. Lou Esmond with Esmond Law here today to help guide you to personal financial wellness. Thanks for joining us again, buddy.
Hey, thank you very much, Don. And this is the second time that Gino has not been here. I'm going to take personal offense to that.
Yeah, I would too. He's all, oh, Lou's going to be there? I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, I know.
He uses that excuse to go on vacation. I don't think so. Doesn't really work
you never
that way. But you can also join us here in the studio because we have this live. That's right. We have 3 HD cameras on us thanks to Fermin Escobedo and AP Productions, and we have Lisa and Tina back there running the boards. We have our own custom-built studio right here at Skyline Home Loans called the Vault Media Studio. In fact, we'd like you to check out the Vault. Again, go to donandgino.com, click on the live stream button, and you enter the Vault. All right, so we only have a little bit of time left for the first part of our show, and let's talk about, I love it, bankruptcies was huge. Whenever the whole debt crisis was happening around the nation, around the world really, but around the nation, bankruptcy was pretty popular, wasn't it, Lou?
There was, every lawyer came out of the woodwork and became a bankruptcy lawyer.
It's kind of like when the real estate market was hot, everybody was doing mortgages. I remember firemen were doing mortgages, the butchers, like, would you like a half pound of turkey, a half pound of chicken, and a refinance?
Right.
I mean, seriously, everybody was doing mortgages. I had so much competition, people didn't have a clue what they're doing. And, that does bode well into additional problems down the road, does it not? I know in our industry, some of the advice that they got, nothing against anyone who became one. I'm just saying I saw some really poor advice. You probably, when you see a lot of cookie-cutter bankruptcies, they're not specialists, bankruptcy paper pushers, that creates potential problems for people down the road, wouldn't you say?
It created a lot of problems. There were the attorneys who got the software to do the bankruptcy cases, and then we were competing with realtors who wanted to get short sales done and counseling people not to file bankruptcy. It was a mess. It was a morass. And, I think things will work their way through.
Yeah, it's all working its way through.
But look, I have people who I put through Chapter 13s, and we stripped away the seconds, and they made it through their 5 years. Housing prices have appreciated. They didn't leave the California real estate market. They're really happy.
And we're doing loans for them, getting them back on their feet. 5 years goes by quick. I mean, that's what it is. It's a restart. It really is.
But I have other people I know who went down the other road. They short sold their property. They got out of the California real estate market, and now they're bemoaning the fact that they can't get back in.
Right.
That's I see that happening.
So they got to look at not just the short term, but the long-term ramifications, find out what their goals are, how to achieve those goals, and what they don't know. That's what I find out about real professionals. And I hope you're listening out here, because this is the main reason we put America's Professional Resource Group together, aprgi.com, is this. I continually, throughout my lifetime, have gotten some pretty poor advice at times that has just been detrimental to my life and my family's life and friends. But now that I'm getting great advice, the things that real professionals do, and I know we do that at Skyline Home Loans, is we actually know what to look out for. We know questions to ask.
And now that the market has kind of gone back to where it would normally be, I mean, bankruptcy filings are down substantially, 60% or so. And it's just like when the federal government had cash for clunkers, the real estate salesmen. So you cleared out the pipeline, okay, and now the clients that we're seeing coming in are little higher income clients. They are usually involved in a business that is not doing well. And what we're seeing are people coming in, they have a business that is not doing well, they've guaranteed the debt of the business, or they've signed on the lease for the commercial space, and now they come to me and I have to try to figure it out. And what I shared with you is...
I love this analogy. Pay attention. This is a great analogy of why you hire a true professional.
You go to the toy store and you buy a box of puzzle pieces, and you dump it on the table. It always makes the same picture. When people come to me and I dump out that box of puzzle pieces, it never forms the same picture. I have to figure out how to put those puzzle pieces together so that it is the best picture for them. If they're looking to get out of the business, I have to counsel them on how to wind down that business to reduce their downside risk. So very often there'll be unpaid sales taxes, there'll be unpaid payroll taxes, and what I'm trying to do is make sure that those debts that would be non-dischargeable in a personal bankruptcy get paid off through the winding down of the corporation. So I'm looking at a lot of different scenarios and trying to give people the best scenario that they can use to get through the situation. And at the same time, I'm educating people, the same people, on how not to fail, how not to make the same mistakes again. It's a critical, there's two sides to what I do. There is fixing what comes into my door and what I'm asked to fix. And then on the other side, it's counseling people so they can succeed and not be back in my office for another bankruptcy filing. In fact, many people who come in for a business bankruptcy wind up being my long-term business client. I'm forming their corporations, I'm doing their contracts, and then they're coming into me on a regular basis to counsel them, not so much as a lawyer, but as a business consultant,
Right.
using all the experience I have to counsel them on how not to fail. That's my mantra. I'm going to counsel people on how not to fail.
Well, if you'd like to find out how not to fail, or if it is failing, how to handle it best, make sure you reach out to Lou Esbin with Esbin Law. How can they get a hold of you, Lou?
They can go to my website,
Yes.
which is esbinlaw.com, ESBINLAW.com. My office number is 661-254-5050. Those are the two best ways to get a hold of me.
And he's located right in town. I've been to his office many a times.
And you can Google me. I'm all over the place on
Yes,
Google.
you are actually on our show. You've been on our show, I don't know, 7, 8 times
A
or
lot,
so.
yeah.
I looked on it. I tease Lou all the time. I go, I pulled your name up, and you're everywhere. And it was really cool. As a lot of them were the videos and,
Right.
and interviews from our show, and actually we're cataloging it now for
Okay,
you, Lou,
that's good.
because so when you pull up something about business law or bankruptcy or any in that category, you'll see all the other interviews we've done with Lou, because we never cover the same subject twice.
No, we go over different things.
Yeah,
sure.
we always go over different things. So we only got 2 minutes left. So I kind of tease a little bit, but I don't want to leave them completely out. In a minute or so, give us an idea of where we're at with the student loan crisis. I know it's a segment on its own, but I did tease it.
You know, Don, back in 2009, if you go onto my website, I wrote a white paper where I compared the impending student loan crisis to the mortgage meltdown.
Yep. I agree.
And people thought I was crazy. Well, people thought I was crazy when I said you can't borrow your way out of debt, and I was right. And the student loan crisis is a crisis. Sallie Mae bought up those student loans just like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac did. They're non-dischargeable in bankruptcy. And for me, the students, they'll get through. They've got a long life to go. They've got a lot of mistakes they're going to make. The parents, those are the ones I'm worried about, because these are people who are in their mid to late 50s, their 60s, and they are straddled with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt that interest is accruing at an astronomical basis, and they may have no way out of it. And if they don't pay the student loan debt, the IRS can seize their refunds. It is a morass on monumental proportions that needs to be addressed by Congress. But you know, it gets addressed first at home. And sometimes you just have to, as Nancy Reagan said,
Yes.
just say no.
All right, it's okay to say no out there, parents, because I know we want to enable our kids as best as they can, get the best opportunities. Sometimes it's best to just say no. All right, you heard right here on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show, Mr. Lou Esmond with Esmond Law, located right on the old road, your local business, financial, bankruptcy specialist. We're talking years and years of experience. Thank you for being here.
I am a certified specialist. I'm one of 150 certified specialists by the California Board
Out
of
of
Legal Specialists.
300,000 lawyers or something crazy
over,
like that.
Over 300,000 licensed attorneys, 185 are actively practicing.
So who should you be working with? All right, go to esbinlaw.com. Talk to Lou, good guy, and you'll do a consultation for him, correct?
Yeah,
For $100
I charge $100 for a consultation. You get an hour of my
Ridiculous.
time.
It's a deal.
Yeah, it's in my normally hourly rate is.
Well, it's just because you're reaching out, as you
$450.
always do, Lou. Thank you for taking time out of your day, because I know you actually have to head off to the
Rotary.
The Rotary event
Right.
today.
Every noon at Marie Callender's, everyone is invited to come to Rotary,
All right.
including you, Don.
I know. I keep hearing that. But I have 3 events. In fact, we're going to talk about the next segment. I have 3 events coming up. So I'm proud of us being so involved in our community. We're proud of you tuning in every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Please stay tuned. We've got a great second half of the show. Thank you again, Lou Esbin.
Thank you,
Reach
Don.
out to Lou Esbin at esbinlaw.com.